This episode is gonna be a little different. Last night, when I wanted to film this week's episode, my region of Germany, which is in the west-northwest, was hit by a significant storm, which led to a few cellars full of water, streets full of debris, branches, leaves, and water, and to me needing to help my friends out instead of recording a new episode. So it's now Saturday morning. The episode is due Sunday evening for me, for my local standard time. So let's make the best of it. First of all, breakfast. Trust me guys, it was a long ass night. Adrian and I start our wrenching sessions most of the time around 6 p.m. Then we take the Ranger, get some food, have a good laugh, and then go into the workshop, into the garage. Unfortunately, yesterday, while still being in the Ranger, his wife gave him a call. And so we switched plans. I got my garden pump, my new fuel pump for a drill. Nothing special, nothing expensive. And we went to the rescue. Unfortunately, the weather was that extreme that fallen trees, fallen branches, fire department, police department blocked many major roads. And so the Ranger came in quite handy, even for Bumstown, Germany. So this thing did good. Unfortunately, Adrian, after all this action, wasn't quite interested anymore in helping me in the workshop. So I had a good night's sleep, had a good night's rest, and thought about that I have to give you guys at least something else than watching me eat breakfast. So I probably will tell and show you about this little package in my hand right here. In one of the earlier episodes, I told you about how the body kit, the white body I have, the rear white arches made from resin reinforced fiberglass, suck donkey dick. They won't fit. They won't comply to the form of the car, and they are made in a way that you don't even have the chance to glue them on, nor to drill them on, rivet them on. So I threw them in the trash, and I ordered ABS plastic ones from Rising Sun Tuning, which first I thought was saying in England, knowing that the Brits, that Great Britain left the EU, I knew I had to pay taxes and income tolls. But what I didn't recognize is that these parts in fact come from Kazakhstan, which I mentioned in one of the last videos, that I was surprised that car parts now come from all over the world, especially from Kazakhstan, which led to a fucking odyssey. Not because of the sender. The sender did everything right. The declaration for paying taxes and income tolls was correct. The address declaration was correct. My address was correct. The address was correct in the bill, correct in the papers. Income taxes were correct. Everything was correct from my side and the sender's side. The problem was DHL in the middle. The Russian parcel, or the Kazakhstan parcel carrier, gave it to the German DHL branch, and that's where everything got fucked up. My state of residence, which is North Rhine-Westphalia, suddenly became Westphalia 1. My street address, which is obviously not my street address. Then I had to give them a call for the support hotline, which told me, oh shit, it's an international parcel, so we can't help you. Then I called them out on Twitter. They were very helpful until they recognized too that it was an international parcel. Oh no, you have to talk to somebody else. So I got another number to call. The woman was quite helpful, but couldn't record my complaint because the address was not my address. So when I told her the address, I expect this package to be delivered, she said, no, can't help you. That's not the address the parcel goes to. So you are not qualified to leave a complaint, which is fucking ridiculous. So it's not the woman's fault. So I kept my calm. Later the day, I got an email from DHL's Facebook page. Color me surprised. And they once again said, oh yeah, we are sorry. Your parcel will be delivered on the next day. And I was happy because somebody seemingly cared. I answered them with, okay, please tell me, will it be delivered to my correct address or to the wrong one that you fucked up? And then they only replied with, sorry, we can only deliver to the delivered address. Which is the joke inside the joke, because the address the seller and I delivered is correct. The address their fucking computers or incompetent people entered in the computer is the problem right now. So I had no chance to get my package, and I had nobody from DHL that would listen to me. So I told the Facebook DHL guys, thank you very much for your work. I see that you can do nothing, so please escalate it to somebody that can do something. Or, like in the past, with my carbon bonnet, I am forced to sue you and will probably win again in court. Which promptly led to them not replying anymore. Who would have thought? In the end, I had a stupid idea that worked. I was gonna change the address from the DHL online form. So I'm not qualified to complain. I'm not qualified to change the address. Not talking to any people that would like to help me at all. But knowing my own zip code, this was qualification enough to use the online form to redirect the routing of the package, but only to a neighbor. So I thought about using my work address. No, my work address didn't work because it was not close enough to my home address. So I entered my own home address. So making me myself my neighbor in my same house. And that did work. And voila, next day my package came. How dense do you got to be? How neutron star dense you got to be to fuck something like this up? Obviously I won't show you my address, but I've got the package here. It's written in Cyrillic, it's written in Latin, it's written in English, in German, and everything on 10 corners of the package. How can you fuck this up? The DHL guys, the guy that finally delivered the package was a real nice guy, and he couldn't understand too because it was clearly written. It's not his fault. It's not the fault of the Facebook guys or the Twitter guys. Nor is it the fault of the women on the telephone, but it's weaponized incompetence par excellence. So, DHL, you fucked up. Please bear in mind, my opinion, there's always two sides of the story. This is just my reflection, how I have experienced this tragedy of my body kit. And the worst thing is, to show you guys, I didn't even open it, because I don't even know if it's good or not. That is what we were going to do next. But first, I will have my breakfast. Cheers, guys. Oh yeah, and since it's already lunchtime, which is almost afternoon, why not add some German pastry? Puddingteilchen for the soul. Quite delicious. Edible, yes? Also, but mostly delicious. So obviously the workshop is fine, otherwise I wouldn't be standing here with the dry feet. The workshop indeed is a little bit uphill. I've seen goodies! I've seen goodies! That's probably an air freshener, and those are stickers, I guess. Oh yeah. Yes, and yes, here we go. So that's more like the quality I do expect. Ah, look at that. Look at that. It's 2-piece made into one. Will sit right here on the fuel filler cap. Yeah, the fitment isn't that optimal, let's be honest here. But that stuff, we can manage. That shit can work. Unfortunately, I don't have any fenders left on the car, so I can't mock them up, but they as well do look quite solid. Are malleable, right guys? Malleable. So that's yeah, that's a benefit too. Come on, here we go. Oh, it's that's not so nice. There's quite a lot of pitting. So the molds were probably old or dirty. Let's be real, guys. It's expected, and for 400 bucks, come on. So let's mock it up. And it's off. So fuck it. After giving up on this side because the fender is already missing, I started mocking up on the other side. And as shown by the duct tape, my temper was a little bit on the thin side. So as short fused as I am, I use duct tape, and as you can see, shit doesn't line up. But, the big but, that's not because of the part, that's because of my temper and the temperature. Because everything does just loosen by itself, no matter how hard you stick it on. This is a two-man job, and I am still quite positive that this will be fitable. Because now we have exactly the space where the part begins and the car begins. We have those forks rivet holes, which we can use as guidelines. And when we use them to line this piece up with this piece in a bow, and maybe use this little piece here as a guideline, we can make it work. The greatest problem and benefit for the door pieces is that they don't fully fit down here. So we can mock something up, pressure them down, and probably use some 3D printed stuff. Yeah, we need to do something there, but at least it's more easy to line this up than the last parts down there. Well guys, that was an uneventful episode. At least we now have the parts. I'm not gonna lie, I would hope they fit a little bit better, but they do fit better than the last ones. And on the plus side, they are made from ABS, so they can be formed, they can conform to the real form of the body panel, of the shape. Still, it's a long way because it's not fit out of the box. I have to make something up for the gas filler cap. And in general, I will need a second pair of hands to mock it up before I start drilling holes into the chassis. So this will probably be in one of the next episodes. I'm not saying the next episode because we may work on the skyline, may work on the welds, but put aside is not forgotten. So stay tuned. Whenever we will go back to the white body, and stay tuned for more skyline content and Subaru welding stuff, which should be there. Notice, and the skyline is... Ah, damn it! That was my trailer hook. Oh. And the skyline is yonder. Ah, see you guys. Oh.